My name's Tina, and we're doing a negotiation course next week, but your HR team have come back and said that there was a number of you who were a bit concerned about negotiation. It's a bit of a frightening subject, a little bit concerned because it's quite competitive. And so what they wanted me to do was just to give you a bit of reassurance. So we've just got 10 minutes now. Hopefully we'll relieve some of those concerns and sort you all out. I just quickly want to show you this. We'll be using AHA slides today. I'm hoping that you got the message before we got together about logging on, but if not, the website is ahaslides.com, or you can scan the QR code that's on the screen. And if you're prompted for a code, it's capital letters STUAI. So as I say, we're going to just do a whistle-stop tour. We're just going to have a bit of a chat about negotiation, what it is, what it isn't, what we're going to cover next week to hopefully relieve some of those concerns that people have got. So the first thing we're going to do is actually on the AHA slides, hopefully on your mobile devices, you've now got a screen that says, what comes to mind when you think of negotiations? You can put into up to 5 words. It may be an experience you've had. It may be how you feel about it. It might just be a concern you've got. Oh, we've got one already. Please remember to press the submit button. Otherwise, whatever you put in won't be registered. So you can do up to 5. You don't have to do 5, just do 1 or 2. That's absolutely fine. Oh, gosh, look at this. Fear, yeah. Painful, messy. I like messy. Scary, definitely. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I can understand a lot of the words that are coming through here. Competitive, hard. Somebody there says give and take. That's a really good one. So I think we'll move on and we'll see. Oh, I've just noticed money there as well. We'll see how that goes. So what we've got here is a definition of negotiation. It's quite short and sweet. A discussion aimed at reaching agreement. Covers a whole remit of things, but I think what's interesting to realise is what it doesn't specifically mention. It doesn't mention money. So negotiations do not have to involve finances. They could involve time or other resources, and we'll come to that in a bit. It doesn't mention business, and in fact, when you understand negotiation better, you'll probably realise that the vast majority of negotiation does not happen in the workplace. It happens at home. And finally, it doesn't mention competition. And I think that's really important to know. And it's where a lot of the fear and concern comes from. And it was mentioned in the previous slide. So hopefully you've now got another AHA slide and it says, have you ever? And there are 5 options. Let me just unlock it. There are 5 options there, whether you've bought a second-hand car, been to the cinema, booked a holiday, had a takeaway, organised a get-together. If you've done one or any of those, tick the box. Oh, look at this. Please remember to press submit, otherwise it's not going to register. We're nearly there, but I think we've probably got all the responses. And what I can tell from this is I'm talking to a group of experienced negotiators. You know, you've all been negotiating. If you've done all these things, I can guarantee that you're already negotiating and being successful at it. And the point I'm making is that negotiation is happening all the time. The reason you don't associate those previous examples with negotiating is because you're familiar with the subject, you're familiar with the person that you're dealing with, you're comfortable in the surroundings. It's so familiar, you don't think of it as negotiation. So, for example, a friend rings you up and says, do you fancy going to the cinema on Friday? You go, okay, yeah, free. Well, what should we see then? Well, anything as long as it's not horror. I don't like horror films. Let's not go and see horror. Well, I don't know, there's that new comedy out. Should we go see that? I'll go see that. You've just done a negotiation, but didn't feel like it. You may well go on to discuss where you're going to meet, which screening you're going to see, whether you'll have food before or after. Lots of little step negotiations, and it doesn't feel like it at all. So I think what we're trying to say is here that good negotiation isn't about being competitive. It's not a win-lose situation at all. It's also not adversarial. If it's good negotiation, it is not them versus us, or us versus them, or you versus, there's no verses in there at all. Getting a result regardless. No, it's not about that either. Sometimes not getting a result is the right way to finish, and we'll talk about that. It's definitely not about intimidation. Bullying and challenging behaviour is not part of a good negotiation. And it isn't only about the deal. A good negotiation can be about so much more. So on the course next week, we don't do any of this. We don't talk about competition. We don't talk about win-lose. This is what we talk about next week. It's about building relationships. It's about getting to know who you're dealing with. Excuse me. It's about understanding each other. What are your drivers? What are your experiences? What are you looking to get out of this particular relationship? It's about meeting wants and needs, and that's not one side's wants and needs, that's both sides' wants and needs. What we're looking for here is something where everyone feels successful. It's a win-win. Now, for some people, because of their understanding of what negotiation is, don't think that's possible. Win-win is nearly always possible in negotiation. And then setting limits, and we call these WAPs in the course, walk away points. And it's all right if you've got a trusting, good negotiation going on, it's actually okay to go to finish without having a deal, and both sides will understand why. So specifically talking about the content next week, we'll start off with, why do we need negotiation? I think we've already talked about that really, even when we've talked about buying a car or going to the cinema. We just need to work out what everybody wants and come to a conclusion that meets all those needs. A bit of what we've been doing now is just going through, I've never negotiated before, it's going to be hard. Actually, no, it's not. You just need to build up some skills and be familiar with the setting and understand that negotiation is good and can be positive. It's not this competitive adversarial arrangement that a lot of people think negotiation is. We'll then go through 5 steps for the negotiation process so that you can understand each of those and what stages you need to go through. We'll talk about why negotiate, where to negotiate, who gets involved, and that all-important win-win. We'll then go through some top tips for positive negotiation, and I'll do my usual wrap-up of assess, adapt, achieve. So what I think we do now is the last one on the AHA slides. It's been a bit of a whistle-stop tour, but hopefully I've been able to give you some reassurance. So it'll be interesting now to see how you feel about the course next week, whether you're looking forward to it, and actually understanding that this is going to be a really positive, great course for you to go on to, which you can use not just at work, but at home as well. So if you want to put those words in, say how you feel, don't forget to press the submit button. And we'll see how that goes. So we're a lot more positive than we were at the beginning. People are feeling reassured and motivated and positive. That's absolutely great. We're going to have a lot of fun. There'll be more interactive exercises for you to get on with. And as I say, if anybody has come up with any questions and they've put them in the chat bar, I'll take those away and I'll answer them by email and I'll send them back to HR, and you should get them before we do the course next week. In the meantime, if you want to find out more, you can go to my website, which is aventina-training.co.uk. There's some other learning resources on there of particular interest. There's a couple of blogs about negotiation, which you might want to read ahead of the course. But until then, I look forward to seeing you again next week. Thank you very much. Goodbye.